Everybody, this is Erica Johns from enrichmentstudies.com, and I had a great question from somebody recently. I was telling about our Great American Poets collections, and the person was asking, well, what is it? How does it work? And I realized I hadn't done a very good job of explaining what it is and how it works. So I decided tonight I will create a little short video to show you guys what it's all about. So our clickety-click, come on, our Great American Poets collections, we have 2 of them. And I created these because so many parents said to me that they needed help with poetry. Their kids don't like poetry, the parents don't like poetry, they don't know how to read the poetry, it just feels hard to enjoy. And so I got to work on creating a resource that could make it really enjoyable. Each resource introduces you to the poet and makes it easy for you to experience the poetry without having to be really good at it. And so, assuming that you have the great poets, I just want to show you how this works, how you get it, what's included, and just how the whole thing works. So you click on Member Login, and you log yourself in, and then you'll see your active resources. So here we've got Great American Poets 1, and so you'll see here's the poets that are included, and we'll just click on Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, one of my very, very favorites, so you can see what's included in this and how it's set up. So what we've done is basically, instead of you spending a ton of time hunting down resources all over the place and hours lost of your life onto Pinterest and whatever, we've done all the legwork for you. We have curated a collection of things that are free for you, that are actually valuable to homeschool families, and that are appropriate for your children. So every resource, and this includes our composer studies are like this, our artist studies are like this, the presidents, everything. This is the layout. So you see a picture of our poet and a little bit of biographical information about him, some information on how to use this resource, which I'm going to come back to in just a second. What you see as you scroll down, we've got organized biographical information, fun stuff like coloring pages. Here we've got a coloring page that goes for the poem Paul Revere's Ride, some games, educational things like notebooking pages, a link to quotes by this person, and there's even a link to a site where you can turn quotes into copywork or penmanship pages. We have tons of lesson plans over here, and we give you a little bit of information about what those are, so you will have an idea of if that's fitting for the age of your children or something you're interested in. In this case, we've got some copy work and printables about this poet. I go over to Amazon and I look to see if they have free things for you there. So we've got lots of free Kindle version books that you can get. And also sometimes there's sites that have other formats besides Kindle versions. So if I can find those, I include those as well. We've got links to audios, and so there's all of that. And then our section that I think is really the most helpful section for most families is our videos. And so, I know a lot of times homeschool, well, any families with kids, but homeschool families certainly feel concerned about turning their kids loose on YouTube. And you should be concerned about it because, right next to things that are great are things that might not be so great. And then the other trick is that there can be a lot of videos out there, but they're not always really that good of a quality. So we have previewed all of these videos, every single one, and we've chosen ones that make the most sense for homeschool families, things that we think your kids will like. We don't include stuff that we think is going to bore them to death. We always include for you any, warnings or something that you might want to preview to see if you think it's appropriate for your children or for whatever your standards are in your family, things like that. So instead of you having to stumble through and find, a bunch of stuff that you may or may not like, we've already found the stuff for you. I've done all the work, and so all you have to do is click and enjoy. So for instance, we've got a biography video here, quotes. This man does an amazing job of the Song of Hiawatha, and it's like, you would just click and enjoy this awesome video and share it with your kids. And while this is loading up, I'll just say, I designed this page so that you can turn your kids loose on this. One of the things that I do try to be careful of is when these videos end that are on this page, I don't have related videos show up after. So it's just the video, that's it. So it kind of helps cut down on that. Maybe they're going to click on something that you don't want them to. Every once in a while, YouTube changes their settings, and so sometimes then I find that related videos are showing up, and then I have to go back and change the coding for all of them. So if you find one that needs to be fixed, just let me know, but that's my aim, is to always have it be as safe as possible for your kids. So you can just see a minute of this guy.
Introduction. Should you ask me, whence these stories? Whence these legends and traditions?
He gives me the chills.
The odors of the forest, with the dew and damp of meadows, with the curling smoke of wigwams, with the rushing of great rivers, with their frequent repetitions and their wild reverberations.
I wish I could just sit here and watch the whole thing again, but this is like an absolute gem, and your kids will be captivated. It is an amazing performance of part of an epic poem. And it's the type of thing, if you were reading it at home, you might not be that familiar with it, you might not understand it, you might not know how to pronounce all the words or whatever, but so relax and enjoy it and learn with your kids, because we've already got it here for you thanks to good old YouTube. So we've got all sorts of videos that feature different poems. And really, I just think this is so great. I love it when I can relax and learn with my kids. And I know other parents do too. And so this just makes it so easy to just relax and enjoy it, and experience poetry instead of making it such a labor and such a serious thing. It's meant to be delightful and interesting and fun. And like here's a great example. I found a Longfellow poem that was turned into a song, and I find this for a lot of famous poetry, in fact, and so it's really cool. So often kids don't realize that they do like poetry, because you know what? Pretty much every song they listen to is a poem set to music. And so I try to be really mindful of including a variety of different videos so that they can hit on a lot of different things for them. Nature, here's an example of that. Sometimes we find things that are more historically accurate with people in costumes or a more historical setting. Sometimes I find videos that have artwork with them, whatever. It just depends on the thing, but I try to always find a really good combination. So that's the basic resource. It's got a lot there, but here's the even better part. I had a lot of parents that said, I love all of this, but sometimes I feel like I don't know where to begin, and I wish that I had you kind of taking me by the hand and helping me know what to do. And so I took all that into consideration, and I decided to create what I call the 5-day tour. And so what this is right here on the resource page. When you're ready for it, you just put in your your email and click subscribe, and then you're going to immediately get the first of 5 consecutive daily emails that are going to take you on a tour of this poet. Now, what this is so great is it's just condensed down to 5 days. You're going to get 5 emails, and each one should take you only 5 to 10 minutes to complete. So literally, this is like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich kind of activity. You can literally give your kids your iPad, Kindle, or phone or laptop and let them watch and learn. So here's how it works. You put in your email address, you're going to get an email, and let me show you. Like this is for E.E. Cummings. And so you'll get an email that you're going to be able to open up on any device that you read your email on. And the first one always gives you a kind of a getting to know you or getting to know the poet sort of thing. So you're going to have a picture, you're going to know a little bit about the person. We'll have links to a biography if you want to learn more. And then I usually let the videos lead. I think this is the best way for kids and their parents to learn. So for instance, I've got this video which is a sweet librarian that's telling us about E.E. Cummings and this book about his life. And so when you click on that picture, it's going to pop you right over to YouTube so that you can watch that video. So again, this will work on your phone or your iPad or whatever. Okay, and so boom, you're going to be able to watch that video, and that's a 5-minute long video. The kids can watch it while they're having lunch or breakfast or whatever. And then we've got a poem here for this day. I also include a few discussion questions so we can just get you started for the day. Responding. So if you're short on, you don't know what to say about it or whatever, I've got a few things there to make it easy for you to get started talking to your kids. And then I include a link to your resource, so you can always go back if you want to jump in and get into the other things. If you decide you're interested in using some notebooking pages for your kids to copy the words to the poem, or you want a coloring page for your younger kids or whatever, you can find your way back easily. So like that's day 1 for this poet. And so basically where I've chosen what to put in for the 5 days, obviously I can't, cover an in-depth thing about each poet in 5 days, but what I can do is give you a nice organized overview where you're going to hit the high points and understand about a variety of their work. I've personally chosen poems that I think homeschool families will particularly enjoy. So it's handpicked from me to you. I have 6 children. I have homeschooled for most of the last 19 years, and 2 of my kids are grown up now. The rest of my kids are all teenagers, and so anyways, I've been where you are, no matter what age you're at with your homeschooling, and I know what the kids will like, and I know the kind of values that we're looking for and the kind of experience that I think that we're hoping to give our kids with poetry. So I've kept that in mind when I try to put together these videos for you. So again, discussion questions and the login, and it just takes you through the 5 days of learning about the poet. Oh, I thought this third one was going to show up for you. There it is. And I usually include links to the words to the poem if they're available online, so you can read along, or again, copy work, whatever, and just try to make it really easy. So, always if you want to build on what you've learned, you find a poet that your family just loves and you want to go deeper with, there's lots more that's available on your resource page. You're still going to have lifetime access to that. And of course, we continue to find great things and add to it and update things as time goes on, and we find other stuff that's available. But you're going to be able to revisit this over the years when you need it, when you want it, or when you need to find something useful and productive for your children to do. And So anyways, you can always go deeper from here if you want to, but for those of you that are just looking for a quick overview to enjoy some poetry and just get to know the poet, it's perfect for that. So I hope that that helps you. I know it's been kind of long, but hopefully it gives you a good idea of what it is that we have to offer in our Great American Poets. Thanks.